And then the other game I got to play was a game called Oregon Trail. And
Not Oregon.
not Oregon Trail, but Oregon Trail. And this was in the drop last week. And I bought it on the Vita. And I was like, you know what? It's $6. I'll give it a shot. So I downloaded it. And from the very outset, you can tell, like, it really wants to call your nostalgia back to the original Oregon Trail. So essentially there's a zombie outbreak, and your goal is to get from one side of the country to the other. And you start off, you name the people on your team. So I had you guys as my team of people that we went
Did I
along.
die of dysentery?
No. People do get dysentery, which is awesome. But it's very much like Oregon Trail in the sense of, like, you have to find resources, you have to manage your resources, and so there may be times where one of your people is hurt, but you're running low on med kits and you're X amount of away from a town, so you have to decide, well, I'm not going to do that. I got stuck for like a month in a place because my muffler broke on my car, and if your muffler's broken, then your car's louder and you attract more zombie activity. So I didn't have a muffler and I didn't have the resources to get it, and I was too sick to go scavenge for parts. So I had to wait around a trade post hoping that somebody would come by, and I was stuck for like 30 days just waiting. And so
That sounds so awesome.
I'm depleting my food resources. I'm doing all that sort of stuff. I really do think you would love it, Ben, because it is all about resource management and about going out and scavenging. Now,
When I get that blue Vita, I may have to go back and get
yeah, from a concept standpoint, it's really, really cool. And I was really young when Oregon Trail came out, but I remember playing it and not understanding a thing that was going on. But there are things about this game that really, like, try to harken you back to those moments. But from a gameplay standpoint, it's not fun at all. It's essentially
That's
a
a big
top
build up for
it's essentially a top-down twin-stick shooter, but as you're aiming your weapon, you can't move. So, like, you go out scavenging for things, zombies start coming at you to try to get you, and if they get you, your scavenging days are over. You got to go back and heal up before you can go out again. But you have to stop every time you want to aim. And so I'm terrible at twin-stick shooters anyway, even when you can move. I love Helldivers, but I was terrible at it because I'm just bad at that kind of game. So having the intensity of having to stop to aim my weapon just wasn't cutting it for me. And for me, it made it really, really hard to play. And so as the gameplay didn't really put its claws into me, and the real novelty of it calling back to a lot of those Oregon Trail concepts, the game didn't have a ton of staying power with me. And it's a little bit of like the concern that I have when we talk about like PlayStation VR, or when we get to like, when we talk about 2D platformers and stuff like that, that like the novelty of the experience can only carry it so far until you get to dig down to the core of the game and realize what's going to hold you to it. And for you, being a guy who's really into resource management, I think you can get by some of the flaws in the gameplay. But for me, a guy who really wants to enjoy the gameplay aspect of it, when I got down to the core that mattered to me and the nostalgia started to wear off, it was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. So I probably played for a couple hours and got done with it. But you get to choose how you track through, and there's risk reward. Like, there's places where there's like nuclear fallout because they're nuking major cities that have been overrun, and you can try to cut through them, but if you get stuck there, then you get radiation poisoning and you start to die. So you can navigate around them, but then you use up resources going around.
Sounds so cool.
And it's really cool. I do think you'd like it, but for me, it just was not really something that I was into. My review in a word is almost. I was almost there. I really think if I could just move while I was aiming, I could overlook a lot of those gameplay issues. But that very thing just was like, I don't really want to mess with this anymore.
I've got to bring a correction to you.
What's that?
How old's your dad?
My dad is 60.
All right, so your dad was 16 when this game came out. So you were really young.
When Oregon Trail came out?
In 1971.
Oh, I just remember.
That's one of those
playing
things
it
like
when I
Looney
was-
Tunes where we think that they came out when we were kids, but actually they came out in like the 30s.
Yeah.
And the jokes are just still good because children apparently laugh at anything.
Right.
Yeah, just blatant racism.
On that note, that's not racism. That's ageism. Get on my
Nice.
level. With that note,
You're out of here.
I gotta go.
All
It's
right,
a birthday
buddy.
party.
Good.
Well,
Love you
Have
too.
fun.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your podcast. I will not be able to welcome you to the after party lounge.
I got you, man.
America.
I'll ham it up for you.
I bet you will.
All right.
hey, you're missing
Goodbye,
the
Seth.
lounge. You want some Big League Chew to take with you? You can't take this, but you can have a little bit out of here. Okay, I can't give you the pouch. Well, I guess it's
All right.
nothing.